about half doors. I'm gonna give this a nice little cut. Those things are heavy. I tried to make tube doors probably 2 years ago. Ended up not really loving it. It was cool, but it wasn't really what I wanted, and I never ended up finishing them. Never really went through with it. I don't know, it was cool, but not what I was looking for. And I finally was able to find a full set of doors for steel, so I'm super excited about that. They came with JBL speakers, and 3 of them have the glass, which, to be honest, is kind of more of a curse than a blessing, because I don't know, what am I going to do with glass? I guess I have extra glass. People might want to buy it or something. It's just more work for me, because I'd rather just, cut. Picked up this set of doors, pretty much damage-free. And I don't know, for those of you who have never lifted 4Gen doors, they're not light. But yeah, hopefully going to be taping this thing off today. Kind of have done some conceptual taping just to see where I could cut. But I'm pretty excited about this project. They're going to be the armrest and the console are like really good. I love how comfortable they are when you drive. Early model Toyota guys will try to notch it as low down as they possibly can, like just make it as small of a door as possible, but I don't know, it's not that clean. Probably a good 8 to 10 inches cut off of the normal height, and it's nothing ridiculous, but I'm gonna be most likely going to be putting latches on the top that are flush with the top and retaining the factory latch system. They'll be lockable, even though I don't know if there's really even any point in that. I don't have windows. There's no way to close it off, really, for now. I don't know. I might put something in there. I think it'd be kind of cool. So I got the new half door on there. Obviously it's not a half door yet, but it will be. First thing I'm going to do is tape everything off, and one of the hardest parts is maintaining this latch. The locking actuator goes all the way up to probably about there. Well, the top nut is, or the top bolt is that high. I'd like to go a little above that, and I'm thinking that I definitely want to stick with this height right here for the armrest, because it's just a perfect height. So what I'm going to have to do is most likely cut an angle that goes up and just misses the handle. I mean, I've thought about just doing it where everything bolts in and it's straight across and there's no latch, you just climb over the door, but it seems like I could do it that way, but this seems a little more correct, and all the latches and everything already work perfectly anyways. I do like that the latch catches the door. Another interesting thing is the difference between early model cladding and late model. I hadn't realized until now, but the door is actually the same indentation, but the cladding on the late model, as you can see, goes up about an inch past where the early model goes up. So I think one of the most important things for these half doors is to maintain the factory body lines. A lot of people make half doors, and I don't know. To be honest, some people make half doors and I'm like, why would you do that? Basically, I've decided, based on the height from the bottom of the door up to the armrest, it's about 19 inches. It's tapered though, so it's a little weird, and the inside's going to be even weirder because they follow different lines. The inside slopes up while the outside actually slopes down. So the outside's going to be, or the inside's going to be forced to do what the outside's doing. But essentially, I'm going to go 7 inches up from this line right here, most of the way across until I get to the points where I have to cut the 45s. No one's ever made half doors with 4th gens, as far as I know, and I know a lot of stuff that goes on with 4th gens. So I guess we'll see. That's the plan. And I mean, I can fix a lot of stuff Obviously, once I cut the door, there's not a lot of going back, but I'm going to cut it kind of incrementally, so I'll cut a relatively high line, and then I'll refine it down as I kind of figure out what needs to be done. It is 8 inches shorter than the factory setup. A lot of people, mainly just Bradley Carlson, ask, why not go lower? Why not go like way down or like way down here? Like, I could. It's not really what I'm looking for. I don't know. It's cool either way. It'd be cool to have it be like a tube door and super far down, but at the same time, like, that's a pretty significant cut. It's definitely, it's not on the level that a lot of people do, but I want it to be clean is the main difference. A lot of people, there are guys in mini trucks that'll cut their doors, like, they'll go out around the latch, just enough to get around the latch, and then they'll go like straight down, all the way to here, and then go over, and then go up. I want to be as extra as possible. Like, a lot of you know, the most extra thing you could possibly do would be to cut like 2 inches down, go across, delete the window. Like, what's more extra than deleting all the useful parts of the door and leaving it with almost no benefit? But I'm not that extra, I'm just pretty extra, so 8 inches seems pretty good. It's a really comfortable height for the armrest, and there's not really any other way to do it while maintaining an armrest, unless I do like another step down or something, which I could. I don't know. Another thing I could do is cut this straight across and then have a tube that goes down here, and you'd be able to see through the tube. But once again, it just doesn't seem as clean to me, I guess. I'm sure someone will come along in a year or two and try this again and do it differently than I have. I hope someone does do it differently, as much as I'd like to think that this is the best way to do it. I don't know, it's kind of winging it at this point, but it's like educated winging it. The rear door is going to have a very similar line like this. This is one of the craziest projects I've done, and I'm building long travel, trying to hit like 17-inch travel. And for some reason, I'm almost more excited about this. Probably because I've already built long travel myself before. The doors I bought have JBL speakers in them. So my half doors are going to have nicer speakers than my normal doors. I might flip it around, but I mean, so much wind noise and all that, you got to have good speakers, right? To be honest, I don't think the look of no doors even looks good. It's like, it's not practical. If you were to dent the B-pillar or something, like, the door wouldn't protect the pillars at all. Got everything out, the panel, and got the glass out, took the regulator out. Got to do the latch and the actuator. Gonna take the handle off, I guess, but for those of you interested to see how the latch actuator works, I know it's kind of hard to see, or not the actuator, but the handle itself. Pulls down on this, and that opens the latch. Kind of interesting. So it turns out that the top of the latch actuator actually goes up to this point, roughly. Like, the top of it is right there. And so I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to do something different, because I expected to be a little more low profile than that. And it's kind of hard to see, but there's really not too many options. I might have to take it apart and see if I can just use the latch and not the actuator, which would lose the locking feature. I don't really care that much about the locking feature, but I think it'd be cool. So my friend Jake just sent me a message, like, you gonna cut the frames off the door? Like, I mean, yeah, it's a half door, of course. Then I got to thinking, like, it'd be really stinking convenient if I could throw some temporary windows in here if I had to. Like, if I was out wheeling and it suddenly got stormy, which it does very often in Colorado, if I just made windows that I could, like, snap on or something, I just leave the frames, try and integrate them somehow. I prefer using angle grinders typically for cutting sheet metal, or actually pretty much any metal, but I think I'm going to give the Sawzall a try and see if it's nice enough. I The problem with Sawzalls, they're not very gentle a lot of the time, and they like pull and get caught on stuff, and I don't want to damage the sheet metal. So I think I'm gonna start on a place that's farther away from where I want to cut and see how it's working. If it doesn't work out, angle grinder, I guess. So let's rock and roll. The blade I was using was a little bit dull, but I'm thinking Sawzall's not the answer. So I'm gonna switch the angle grinder. Just easier. I'd rather just do the outside and then do the inside or something like that, so I don't have to do both sides at once, because then you have to make sure it's level while following the lines. I'm just gonna switch the angle grinder. Yeah, this is gonna be the answer. Now it's time to oh, I thought it was that time. Apparently something isn't wanting to let go. I think it's that in there. Might have to switch to the Sawzall if the angle grinder can't get that out. Check this out. Beautiful. This is such a wild project. So here's basically the base, what it will look like. Obviously you have a lot left to do, but pretty sick. I wish the lighting wasn't so harsh. This whole video lighting is probably terrible. Check it out. Beautiful. This will be interesting. It'll actually feel like sort of a door after I get this thing cut. I know this is probably pretty hard to watch. It kind of pains me to do it because, I don't know, I just have respect for 4th gens. I love 4th gens. Got the cut all the way to here, and now I just got to do the angles and cut through that. Figure out how I'm going to do that. Looking nice though, it's crazy. Well, here's what it's looking like. Got the interior trimmed. I'll probably fill that in with fiberglass, I would assume. This part's going to be tricky, but I think I'm just going to do a piece that comes out of the door that's just big enough for the latch actuator. I wish the actuator wasn't on there. And again, this is 8 inches lower than factory. gonna straighten out those lines and get everything even. It doesn't look like they're in line with each other because they're not. The one on the interior is a little undercut so that I can finalize it once I get the outside done. Not sure what to do about mirrors, but I'll probably run like buggy mirrors. I really don't like round mirrors. I'll probably run like square mirrors or something interesting. Maybe I'll make my own mirrors. Nice. Well, I was able to swap the doors out in about 6 minutes, which is pretty good. 6 minutes per door. I mean, you're looking at like half an hour all said and done, but things are chopped. It's wild. I would guess the size of the window is probably maybe like 50% larger. It's pretty crazy that it's as big as it is. As always, thanks so much for the support, guys. Subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Unless, of course, you didn't like it, then get lost. Go watch some 20-minute long wheel spacer video. Boring! Hit me up if you have any questions about the half door video that I can put in the next one. More than likely it'll be the rear doors, and then I'll work on plating the tops and getting everything boxed in and supported. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a dope day.